Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 139. And tomorrow's episode is a big episode, and I don't want to do it, frankly, because my numbers aren't where I want them to be. But that's tomorrow. Today is today. Let's focus on today. Today we are heading back to the same area that we were yesterday. We're going to be meeting our same AP friend that we saw yesterday. And hopefully today will be a good day. I got word from him last night that he had some trouble yesterday as far as variance. Hopefully he's turned that around, and I should be there on the, let me think, still on the early shift today, so hopefully I can hit 2 different shifts. Today's going to be one of my best opportunities for a longer day and get more sessions in. I'd like to get 4 blackjack sessions in if possible, and hopefully things work out there. This morning looks like another nice day outside. Doesn't look like any chance of rain coming, which is always good for our safety. It is 60 degrees outside, actually. Today's high is going to be 87, and chance of rain is going to be 0% the whole day. So everything is all in line. Everything is in place. All we have to do is make money. So just getting ready to get on the highway, and I'll be back to update you after my first stop. All right, guys, as I'm still driving here, wanted to tell you, so when we first moved into the house that we're in, we bought one of those French door refrigerators, and it lasted for a really long time, but eventually my wife wanted a change, so we moved that one. It's huge. It's like 22 or 25 cubic feet. We moved it into the garage, and with those, it has this little flap in the middle that slides over when you close the door, and it keeps the air from leaking out. It keeps the cold air in the refrigerator when the doors are closed. Well, if you don't take care of it and you close it too hard, eventually that thing will wear out, and it'll break. And after 20 years, that thing was starting to fall apart. And I had thought I had priced it, and it was really expensive to replace, but I looked into it again the other day, and it was only like $80 for the part. So my wife said, we got to get a new refrigerator for the garage. I don't want to have any problems with it. I said, why don't you let me look and see if I can order the part. Found the part on an appliance website. It was like $160, $180, something like that. And then got the part number, went over to Amazon, and found it there. I think it was 82, if I remember correctly. Ordered that part. It took about 2 days to get there, probably because it's a private shipper and not at an Amazon warehouse, which makes sense. It's probably coming from the same place that these other places are getting it from, but they're marking it up and reselling it. And with Amazon, there's a lot of competition, and there's, it's just cheaper. So my son and I worked on it last night. It was only 1 screw to take off, and you had to take a ratchet to take it off. We found the right size. We took that off. Then you slide the whole thing up, and it comes off, and that's it. And there's a wire inside. I think it's a sensor to know if it's closed or not. And we reattached that, and it worked perfectly. It worked so perfectly, just like brand new, so smoothly. And it's like having a new refrigerator again. Now nobody's complaining, and I'm not out $2,500 for a new refrigerator. So I was really happy that worked out. That's positive AV, actually. It saved us money, so I was really happy that worked out. So right now still continuing on my trip, and should be at my first casino by 9 or so. So quite a long way to go, but I'll be back to update you soon. Alright guys, I am back. I am only about 40 minutes away from my first stop. I wanted to go over some things with you. Yesterday I had a weird run-in at a gas station. So after I filled up and I was getting close to home, like I said, I was a little bit earlier than I thought I was going to be. So I had like 45 to 55 minutes to spare. So I stopped at a gas station, figured I'd get a drink and maybe a snack and, you know, move on. So I see they have Gatorade Zero on sale, 3 for $6. And I see that they had this like beef sticks and cheese little package for $2.19. So I thought, you know, that's actually pretty good. Let's go for that. So I got 3 of these Gatorades. I got 2 of one flavor and 1 of another, and I got 2 of the cheese and beef sticks. I go up to the register. It should be about $10, and it's $21. And I said, no, the beef stick is wrong. I said, you got the Gatorade as 3 for $6, right? Oh yeah, 3 for $6. I said, well, I can see right there the beef stick thing is coming up as $5.19. It should be $2.19. No, I don't think that's right. I'm like, well, I looked at the shelf, and I looked down, and I looked at the price, and it said that's how much it was. So the cashier I was dealing with, I think, was kind of new. So the other one got all huffy, and she ran over there to look, and she's like, well, somebody had moved everything over. That's supposed to be for a piece of mozzarella. I'm like, okay. And it looked like she was going to give it to me for that price, but she didn't. So I'm like, okay, well then take the beef sticks off. She takes those off, and the total goes down to $10.74. I'm like, why is it $10.74? It should be $6, right? And she's like, yeah, it's 3 for $6. So I hand her $6, and she's like waiting for more money. I'm like, wait, what are you doing? And she's like, they're 2 for $6. I'm like, no, they're 3 for $6. I got 2 of one flavor and 1 of another flavor. I don't know what's going on here. And she's like, no, that's not the right price. I said, look, I went back there, I saw it, that's what it is. No, that's not right. I said, fine, just forget it. And I walked out of there. I can't believe I went through all that, and I ended up not buying anything. So I ended up moving on. So whatever. And then there's one more thing. Sorry for the hesitation there. My wife just sent me a message. Do we have new dental insurance? I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, she had the problems with her dental stuff, and it's finally starting to heal. I just got the emergency room bill for that. That was like $6,600, and their conclusion, nothing is wrong, go home. So whatever. Anyway, she took 2 of the kids to the dentist today. One's getting a cleaning, and one of them's having 2 teeth extracted because I guess his sister also had the same issue where they were growing in not correctly, and the bigger teeth don't have room to come in. So I feel bad for him. That's actually at least 3 of the kids that's happened to. But anyway, I also wanted to mention that I did make a sale today. It's been a while, honestly. It's just haven't been having the opportunity, and the prices haven't been there. But I bought something yesterday, and I've been reluctant to do it because the prices changed so much that by the time it gets to me, the price could be totally different. But I just got a message from FedEx saying that it was going to be delivered today. So I am hoping that it's going to be delivered today, and I'm trusting FedEx that it's going to be delivered, and it's out for delivery. And so I sold it, so I have 72 hours to ship it. But I ended up making $231 on that, so that's a nice little start to our day. But like I said, we're continuing on here to our first casino. Weather is good, traffic is good, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back, and it was very quiet in there, not much happening. Someone had already been there. I could see, you know, where the machines were marked. and I could tell that somebody was there. So there really wasn't much opportunity to make any money in there, but we gave it a try, and we walked around the whole place and ended up finding one play, played that through, and ended the session ahead $49. So plus $49 to start our day. And we are moving on to the next city where our friend hopefully should be awake. I don't know how late he was up. Actually, I could tell you because he sent me a message. Let me see. I know someone else sent me a message around 1 a.m. He sent me a message at 10 o'clock. That's not so late. Shoot, I wasn't even home yet at that point after my meeting. So hopefully he's up and making money, and we can meet up and do something together. We were talking about maybe a spotter, big player type thing today, so that might happen. Hopefully it does. I'd like to do that. He'll have to be patient, and when it gets there, I'll let him know he can swoop in and put the big bets out there, and hopefully it works out for us. If he lost at the one location, he may need more chips first. We got to think that through, so maybe we have to do it tonight or buy it on 2 different shifts, because by the time I get there, we're going to be about 20 minutes before the next shift starts, maybe 30 minutes. So it might be okay, because even the pit bosses come in. It's going to be close, because the pit bosses come in about 30 minutes early. If I hurry up and get over there, I might be able to get in and get some chips bought, and then leave, and then come back on another shift, and we could do the big player deal. So, and he can go up to 10 grand, of course, on top of that. So if I only got him 3,000 or 4,000, then we'd have room for 13,000 or 14,000. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited. Hopefully that works out. We make some decent money, and I'll let you know what happens. I'll be back to update you soon. Plus 49 if I didn't mention it. Oh my goodness, guys, that was big. All right, so let me tell you what happened in there. So I texted my friend along the way here. Sorry, air conditioner is blasting here. Texted my friend along the way to see where he was, and he was still sleeping until pretty late. So I was already at the second casino before him, and we decided that we were going to do a spotter big player type thing. And so as I was waiting for him, I was doing my normal stuff, and I had 4 sessions of blackjack in there, actually. So my first session, I was just doing my normal spread that I would do on a low limit table, and I played that one for a while with another guy on the table. Now, incidentally, this area, man, I mean, people play big. The guy next to me was down 12,000 as we were going here, and so like I said, it's like some of these places that I go to are so touchy, where like $200 in cash outs are a big deal. $400 or $500 might get you ID'd, and other places they're like the Bellagio or something, where they don't really care. They're like, oh, that's fine, you're playing 2 hands at 1,000, no big deal, and it's nothing. So anyway, that session I ended ahead 150, and then took a call from my wife about what was going on with the kid and his teeth and all that kind of stuff, and then went back to another table and played that one for a while. Played that one for about a half hour, and ended that session ahead $500, and then started another session thinking that he would be here at that point, but he wasn't, and I got up to a true 9. And so, I mean, I got to bet it and play my game, so that's what I did. And so I went from table minimum like 25 to 300 on this table, maybe a little more than 300 at one point, because I went all in, make it look like out of desperation when obviously I knew the count. And my low for that session was minus 800, and I ended that session ahead 800. So and that one was about 45 minutes. And then I went into another area with an even lower limit, and I didn't realize the limit for the table was only 1,500. I had no clue that it was that low. But started playing that table, very low limit table, and just bought in for 200 in chips. I was going to buy in for 400, but I'm like, the limit is so low. Let me just buy in for 200. Played that, and I was going to give him a signal when the count was good, and I was up a couple hundred, and then I looked at him I hadn't really given him the signal yet, but I was kind of like, yeah, it's coming, and he came over, and I'm like, I didn't give you the signal yet, but he came over to the table, and I passed the count along to him, and he verified it, and I confirmed it. And then he sat down and started playing 2 by 800 or 2 by 1,000, and lost, and then lost, and then lost, and then lost, and I'm like, oh my god! And the count is going up, and it's up to running 12, 14, 15, and he ran out of chips, and then he's rebuying with cash, and then rebuying with more cash, and then he had one big hand. I may have him record a segment, and we could put it on here, but there was one hand where he had a, let me look at this here, because I believe he had a 17 against a 3, he had an ace-6 against a 3 for like 1,500, and doubled that one down and got a bad card. No, he ended up with a 19, and then he had a 5-3, an 8 against that 3, and doubled that down and ended up with a 19, because I even said that hand, I said ace, and she dealt him an ace, and so he had 2 19s against a 3. The dealer turns over a 10. We're both on the edge of our seat, we're about to fall out of our chair, we're leaning in so much, and then she pulls a 7 for a 20 and beats both his hands. I don't even know what I had, honestly. I was so tuned into what he had. And I'm raising as the count goes up, but I'm not going too high. I'm keeping it under like 125 or something like that, because I don't want to be the focus of this. I want him to be the focus, and I want him to make money. And he ended up losing like 6,000 on that hand. And then he had a hand where he had two face cards and 2 aces. 2 ace of spades. That happened back to back, 2 hands in a row. He had 2 ace of spades on one hand. He split the 10s, and then he had one of them, he got a low card, and then the other one he got an ace for a 21, and then he split the aces. On one of the aces he got a low card, and the other one he got a 9 for a 20, and the dealer ends up with another 20. So there was some crazy stuff that if it was just adjusted just like 1 pip one way or another, just a little bit one way or another, he would have been up around $20,000. But he said that he ended up ahead $3,250 from all that. And so right now we are going to go to another casino and see if we can duplicate the same thing there and see what happens. And hopefully it'll work out. Hopefully if the count gets that high again, he'll do better. But honestly, I wasn't really ready for him to come in yet. I was hoping for it to go up slightly more, but as it worked out, I mean, the count was there. I just, if he's going to fire that much, and he knew what the count was, so it's not like I was bringing him in blind or anything like that. So anyway, I'm going to move on to another casino, see what we can get done there, and I'll come back and update you. So as far as blackjack, I ended up ahead 8, 12, 17, 1,860 that I won on the blackjack, and I won 13 on one play on slots, which was a 50-cent play. So that's what's going on right now. You're all caught up, and we'll be back to update you. I'm just thinking about that one hand. That was a $12,000 swing on that hand. Lose 6,000 or win 6,000. $12,000 swing. The dealer gets a 3, 10, 7 when he's got 219s. That was just sick hand. Anyway, I'm in this place right now. I'm gonna walk around for a while. We came in here separately and we're going our own separate ways for a while. Then I'm gonna sit down at the blackjack and then he'll catch up with me if there's anything going on. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back and we are gonna move on to another casino. We went into this place and tried to do the same thing, but just wasn't working out. It was too busy. The tables aren't great. Lots of 8-deck tables. It just takes forever to get to a true count that you want. The best true count I had was like plus 1.5, and just never got anything going. I just played a low limit table. Really, my biggest bet was only 100 because I just couldn't get the count up at all, and I ended up down 100 after about half an hour, and there was just nothing. It wasn't worthwhile anymore. So the few tables that they had people on them. They were negative counts. They were part of the way through the shoe. All these different things were going on, and there's no potential there to make money. So we had some lunch, and now we're moving on to another casino. Normally I'd be at my last casino right now, but we want to try to get one more session in at a decent spot. The place we're going to is a 6-deck stay 17 resplit aces 3/4 deck penetration. So if we can make it work there, it could be very juicy. So hopefully that all works out. So we're gonna head over there and I'll be back to update you. Minus 100 on the blackjack, plus 71 on the 1 slot play that I did. I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. We did go on to the next place and we were able to get one short session in. I went to a $50 high limit table and mostly flat bet until the count got up, and then I called my friend in. It was about almost a 3, like a 2.5 maybe, I'm guessing, and called him in, and I got up when he sat down to pass it along to him, and I should have done that at the first place. I don't know what I was thinking, but I should have gotten up so he gets more of the high counts, but you know, we're still tweaking this thing. So I left it to him, and actually I was about to get dealt a hand when he came, and the dealer said, "Oh, you want to just take your hand?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I should have said no. If he was playing 2 hands, he would have ended up with a 19 and a 12. So no, he would have ended up with a 20 and a 12. So who knows what would have happened, and I would have had an ace if I had stayed. If not, the dealer would have had an ace, and he would have had actually 2 bad hands. So probably everything was okay after all, now that I think it through, because I would have left. But I ended my session. I had 425 and picked up another $1 that I found laying around, and he ended up winning another 1825, I believe he said. And we went back to the car, took care of some business, and I let him go. So everything went really well. We may try to do this again tomorrow, so we'll see how it goes. Right now it is rush hour traffic. Downtown is pretty busy. I do have some chips I need to cash, so I'm gonna go run over there and try to get some of these chips cashed, and then we'll head toward home after that. So plus 425 from the blackjack. I found $1 in the machines, and then we split up. We had a cut. So I mean, he said, "How do you want to do it?" I said, "We can either do 50-50 if I share the risk, or if I don't share the risk, you just pay me a smaller percentage." And we decided on a number, and we did that. It was very fair. I'm happy with that. And he had lost a bunch of money last night, so him getting the majority of it is good with me. He got a lot of his money back, so all that went really well. So right now I'm going to head back to one of the casinos here, try to cash some of these chips, if not all of them, and then I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. I did go back to this other casino, and I was able to cash another 5,000 in chips. So that helps to go home with more cash. So all that is good. I'm heading out of the city. It is definitely rush hour, so I'm going to take my time. It's going to be a long drive. I still have another stop at least on the way home, so I'm not going to stress. I'm not going to hurry. I'm just going to take my time and get home safely. It was a good day today, and I haven't even looked at the numbers, but let me see. 650, 1450, 15, 19, 2, 24. It's like over like $3,500 a day overall, so you can't complain about that. We'll try to do it again tomorrow, and after that my friend's leaving the area. If he's here tomorrow, we'll try to do it. If not, then we'll just have a normal day. We'll go on a normal route that we would go on. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with everything so far, and hopefully we have even more good variants on the way home. So that's where we are right now, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. Just left the next casino, and this place, man, as soon as I walked in, I saw a girl on a machine, and she was contemplating whether or not to play it. She's semi-AP, and she asked me my opinion. I said, yeah, I think there's enough there that it's good. And she said she wasn't really sure about it and all that. I said, look, if you don't want to play it, I'll play it. Just let me know what you want to do. I'm going to take a quick look. I'll be right back. Came right back. She was playing it. Walked away. Came back again after I finished looking at the whole place. And she had some things happen that were compensating factors, and she was ahead like $150 on there, and it was no longer worth it for her to pursue it. And I understood and I agreed, but I said it's just too good to pass it up. So I told her I would play it. So I would play it, and I played it, and I ended up losing like 131 on it. And other than that, I found a couple small plays, and those really didn't go anywhere. Plus 20, plus 30, stuff like that. And then finally on my way out, I saw a machine that was kind of not great. It was borderline, and normally I wouldn't even play that machine, but since I was down slightly, I thought I'd take that on, even though technically it was positive EV, but I wouldn't play it normally. That's not what I would do. So I played that, and I got lucky pretty quick within like 4 or 5 spins, and I ended up leaving ahead $6. And then I had some free food that would expire, so I went and got a couple sugar-free drinks, some Monster, the red Monster, like the pink color. That's pretty good. That's, I like the green one the most, but that's too many calories for me right now. So this pinkish colored one, I don't know if it says anything on there. Let me see. Ultra Strawberry Dreams. Strawberry Dreams. Yeah, so that's what I had, and that was pretty much it. I took off. We can do some of our stuff. I'm a long way from home, but we can do some of our stuff here. What did you eat today, MW? And today I had that same cheeseburger I had yesterday with the bacon and all the different toppings and all that. Put some ketchup and mustard on there, and that was pretty good. Today I would give that still probably a 9 on a scale of 2 through ace, but really that was my only option other than like just a plain cheeseburger. I like this one because it had the bacon and stuff on there, adds that protein on there. So and then what did you tip today, MW? And you guys know, went through a lot of stuff today. Went through 4 or 5 blackjack sessions, and brought in my friend who beat him up a little bit, did all these different things, and I actually stayed around after the first session I had with my friend, just to see what they were talking about. And they were like, they weren't going to back him off at all, which is insane. That's why I think he should stay another day. They were just talking about how the pit boss says to me, he's like, first of all, he says, you can't make money unless you risk money, and he risked money. That's why he made money. Are you serious? See, the thing is, when someone comes to the table firing, and they weren't there the whole time, he was at a nearby slot machine, so it looked like he couldn't even see the cards on the table. Then he comes out firing. It doesn't look like he's a counter. I passed the count along to him, and he took over from there and knew what to do with it. And so then they said to me, the pit boss said, I got to tell you something, and don't be offended. And I'm like, what? What are you going to say? He's like, you have the worst luck I have ever seen of anybody. Every time I see you, you're losing money. So they're buying my story. They're buying my story that I'm constantly losing and I'm trying to break even. So you got to love that. So after all this time, I'm still not on their radar, and they still kind of chuckle that, oh, look, you won 4 hands in a row and you didn't raise. You're not aggressive enough. So you got to love that, man. You got to love it. So anyway, what did I tip? That was the whole point of this. Long story short, all 4 sessions, 5 sessions, whatever it is, $0. So no money to anybody. Money for my kids, money for my family, money for my cruise coming up, and hope to have another good day tomorrow, like today. That'll make it okay for me to be on my cruise and not make money that week, not as much anyway. And what did you learn today, MW? I learned, and I made a big mistake when my friend came to that table, and I don't know how it would have turned out if I had done it the right way, but I needed to get the heck out of that situation, get out of there. When he comes to the table and it's a high count, why am I taking cards at $100 and something or $200 a hand when he's betting 2 by $1,500? It makes no sense. So from now on, when I call him in, I'm getting out of there, and he can have those high cards instead of me stealing them from him for no reason and wasting those high cards. So I learned that when you call in a big player, you get out of there and let them do their job, and you go on to the next thing that you're going to do. So yeah, overall decent day. Still incredibly nice day. It's like we had a bunch of bad days in a row last week where it rained for like a week, and all of a sudden now things are turned around. The temperature's beautiful. 74 degrees outside. Mwah! You gotta love 74 degrees outside. And chance of rain 0%. Tonight's low 65. How can you argue with that? You gotta love it. So beautiful night for looking at the moon tonight. Get out there and take a look at it, and I'll be back to update you. All right, guys, continuing my trip here. I gotta tell you, I'm actually pretty bored right now. My neck's been stiff for like 3 weeks. I gotta get to a chiropractor or something. I just don't know how I'm gonna do it. I gotta get to a dentist. I gotta get to a doctor. I just don't want to waste time. So Monday and Tuesdays, I work at the office, and I think the dentist starts off at like 7 a.m. I'm going to check with the chiropractor, see how early they start. Maybe like this coming Monday, I'll go to one, and then next Monday I'll go to another one. But yeah, I'm in a lot of pain as far as my neck. It's been weeks and weeks and weeks of this, and I've been using this. This stuff is excellent. Voltaren. Oh my gosh, that stuff works instantly, but it only lasts for about 20 minutes. You got to keep applying it. So you know what? I was using this cushion in the car, and I stopped using it because my kid was driving. I got to put this thing back down, see if it helps again. But anyway, what I was saying was, pretty bored right now, listening to podcasts, watching videos, doing everything, and I think just me being tired is contributing to the boredom, and I've had enough for a while here. So tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow we're going to go in the office, check in, and then leave. That'll cost us over an hour. So tomorrow we'll have to leave even earlier so that we can pick up that hour, and we can get to the casinos and hopefully make some more money again tomorrow. Right now we're going to continue the trip home, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.